Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Yo, what is up guys, it is me, Apex Gaming, and in this video I will be talking about everything you need to know about the legend Wraith. In this video I will be going over a few things about her. I will be going over her abilities, her tactical ability, her passive ability, her ultimate ability, and how to use them, what they exactly do, and I will also talk about how you need to play as this character, how you need to play front of for the team, what position you need to play in mostly, what you need to do as her, and when to use your abilities and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's head right on into it. So, okay, the first thing I want to talk about is her passive ability. It is called Voices from the Void. Okay, this is insane. Her passive ability is absolutely, I think it's quite OP, to be honest. But yeah, okay, let's not talk about that because that's my own opinion. Let's just talk about what she does as with that ability. So the Voices from the Void, they just tell you when there's danger close. That's just everything that does. Basically, she tells when there's a sniper aiming at you, when you're in vision of an enemy, when there's traps inside, the gas traps from Caustic. Yeah, that's just what they tell you. They tell stuff like traps. There's traps in there. Danger move, sniper move. You're in vision of the enemy. You're in view of the enemy. That is just what she tells you. Her ability is quite OP because you can tell your teammates what you hear. You can, when a sniper's aiming at you, you can hear that from 200 meters away. That's pretty far. That's really far, to be honest. And that's why she's so good as a legend herself. Um, but you can warn your teammates, and you can make some plays with it, because your enemies do not expect you for yeah you to notice stuff like that. They think, yeah, we're gonna flank them, and they don't expect us to be coming from this angle, and they want to surprise you. But then you, as a Wraith, you know from your passive ability that Voices from the Void, that enemies are close to you. You know that. That's quite OP itself, I guess. So that's what that is for. Then I want to be talking right now about the ability, the tactical ability, about the ability. It is called Into the Void. What she does with that ability is goes into the void, and what she does when she's into the void, you can't damage her. She does not take any damage at all. When you're into the void, she does not see the enemies. She sees like these figures, these shadow people. She sees them. Um, you cannot take damage. I already mentioned that. And what you need to do, what I think is key to using that ability, is when you are into the void, you need to communicate with your team, and they need to tell you where the enemies are, so you can like quite simulate the action going on at that moment. You can They can tell you where the enemies are, and you can like go on out of the void when your ability is over, and you can flank them or something. Also, what that does is she gets 20% movement speed boost, which is kind of OP. But the only downside to that ability, as in my eyes, is that you leave a trail behind, so they can just follow that trail. They can just follow that trail and wait for the ability to end, and then they can shoot you. That's the only thing downside, but you can do a few things about that, I think. I think when you use that ability, you don't want to run in a straight line. You just want to like run zigzag, or jump on top of a building and jump off of it again. Then you confuse your enemies. They think you're up on top of the building, and you jumped off, and then you can shoot him in the back, from their back. That's one thing you can do, or you can just run forward in a straight line and then run back. because the two trails layer up, so they stack and they look like as one layer. So the enemies will think that you run in a straight line, and they will wait for you, and then your ability ends, and you can shoot them from behind. So that's, I think, pretty OP about that. You can also combine her ability with the ability of her ultimate ability, the interdimensional or the dimensional rift. This dimensional rift creates a portal that can be traveled by enemies, that can be traveled by grenades, that can be traveled by no, not grenades. I'm sorry, by teammates as well. They can be traveled by knocked players, so you can use that when a teammate is knocked. When a teammate is knocked down, you can transport them into a building where they're safe and they can't get killed again. That's one way to use it. You can use that as a flank because you get an insane speed boost. She's faster than Bangalore's passive ability, because Bangalore was one of the fastest heroes, but now she's not anymore. With Wraith's interdimensional or dimensional rift, she's faster than Bangalore, and you, as I already mentioned, you can combine that ability with the into the void ability, and you won't be visible, but your enemies can travel through that. You can see that as a negative, something negative, but I kind of see that as something positive, because you can go into a building and then you can wait at the end of the portal for enemies to go in, and you can place caustic traps or jump pads so they get boosted back or something, and then you can shoot them so they don't expect that. You can already use that to flank people. I've already mentioned that, I guess. You can use that in these things, in these ways. But I think it's key to communicate. Again, communication is key. Movement is key in Apex Legends. That is one of the most important things in Apex Legends. Movement, movement, movement. That's what the game is about. When you don't have good movement skills, I think, in my opinion, you are definitely not a good player. You have good movement skills to be a good player. And then I will be now I will be talking about how you need to play as a character of Wraith, as the Wraith character. You need to play very offensive or very defensive. You can play either of those. I think you can. Her main thing to do, her main job to do, is like flank enemies in a fight. She needs to let enemies know what you when you are targeted by enemies. You need to let your teammates know when there's a sniper with her passive ability, and then you can go into the action. You can jump into the action by using your portal, your dimensional rift, or into the void. You can use her either by these two ways. You can play as a uh, doing klootzak. You can play as offensive, and you can play as defensive. As defensive is what her dimensional rift. You can camp inside of buildings and play some Nox traps, some Nox gas traps from Caustic. With the Caustic hero, you can place traps against the portal, next to the portal, and then when enemies come in, they will explode or they will activate, and then the gas will come out, and they will get some movement decreasement speed, so they can't sprint. They will take damage over time when they are in the gas trap, so that's pretty OP. Or you can play the offensive with like her other abilities, Enter the Void or the Dimensional Rift. That's two ways you can use her as offensive or defensive, but I think it's fun and good to combine both of them. So that's what I play like as Wraith. I play as them both, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a bunch of it, because some people don't know what Wraith is, who Wraith is. They do know that, but how to use her abilities properly, how to use her tactical ability, how to play as Wraith. Some people do not know how to do that, or do not know that correctly. They do know it, but they don't do it. I think playing Wraith is difficult. You need to know, like, a few things at least to play her. You need to have like you need to be pretty decent at the game to play Wraith. You need to have like character knowledge and stuff like that, but that's like with every hero that comes. But I think that's extremely important with the hero Wraith. I think she's pretty difficult to play. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and click that red button. Also click the bell, then you support me a lot on YouTube. I love to post videos on YouTube, and I want to upload more videos in the future. So if you enjoy this channel and the content I am making right now, the intro, that's was my first video, and this is my second video actually, but the first video I actually talking. Yeah, as I said, subscribe, click the notification bell, leave a comment, that's always appreciated, and yeah, like the video. So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye.